And we are live. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Welcome back to Leaders Lighthouse, where we have been discussing Think and Grow Rich, the self-confidence formula. And I am RJ Horner, beacon of leadership, along with
Curtis Leon, beacon of positivity.
and
Linda Tilson, beacon of empowerment.
And we've invited out our resident expert on meditation because that is our topic today. So we're talking about the self-confidence formula from Think and Grow Rich. And we're on the second step. And we've talked about a couple of the issues so far. But I'm going to just read out once again this second tier so that people understand what we're talking about. So second part of self-confidence formula says, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. So that's the way I see that. And I have done some meditation, but I come today much as a student. I'm going to be asking questions and I want more information on this process because I don't know enough about it. I've done some minor meditations myself, listening to audios and such for, 5-10 minutes here and there. But to concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes in a specific area, I have yet to master that practice. So
takes time.
I'm going to turn it over to Wilma, who has guided me through several meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And Wilma, talk a little bit about what meditation is and how people can get into a meditative state.
All right. Like any kind of activity, even like a video game or something, there's different kinds of levels, right? You go to a beginner, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, I should go higher and higher. All right. In my case, it's because it's my practice, it's the nature of my work. Pretty much the whole day, I'm like a monk. All I do is pray, heal, and meditate over my clients. All right. Because much of my work is astral traveling, I do a lot of remote healing. So that means it's a higher level of meditation because I can be in a trance mode. So, but before anybody can reach that, let's go back to the basic, let's say 0 to 1 level. Okay, so where most everybody is, So, like you said, get half an hour to concentrate on a thought. That's what you said in that chapter of the book, right? But truthfully, when you start to meditate, they say like yoga meditation or different kinds of name. They name it meditation because you are balancing your yin and yang, your energies. It's a union of your own energy. So when you are in union of your energy, let's say when you sit down, when you start to meditate, you start to do breathing. All right. On the contrary to what you are saying, you concentrate on a thought. Meditation is about not putting any thoughts in your mind. All right. So it's very contrary because a lot of people couldn't meditate and couldn't even vision something because there's too many thoughts while they're in a meditation state, So it's very much harder for a beginner to drop everything with 0 thoughts, because when you sit down, normally you're not thinking about your cell phone, you're not thinking about your time, you're not thinking about anything. So that's the first ground rule, is to drop every single thought, 0. All right. And as much as I say it's easy, 0, but definitely for someone who's not practicing it, it's not easy to be achievable to that level. That's why you go level by level, level 1, level 2, level 3, or as you go to your higher consciousness, higher state. So that's the basic concept. But as I said, to have 0 thoughts is quite challenging for a beginner because as soon as you sit down over, let's say after work, or you are in a gym, or you are in a anywhere you go, but as long as you're able to shut off your mind, that's the first step.
So,
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
I
go
ask
ahead.
can I ask about that? Because
Mhm.
like you say, people can't even grasp the concept that shut off your mind or get to
Correct.
zero thought.
Correct.
What I was taught was to focus on your breathing. Breathe in and out
Correct.
at a steady pace, counting if you can, but counting adds thoughts to your meditation. So
No.
how do
Mhm.
go ahead? No,
When
please.
you are already in the flow, when you just focus on the breathing, because breathing is a form of, you don't see it. It's kind of like an oxygen you don't see, right? But it's the most powerful energy in our existence, because 98% of us is oxygen. All right. So, and it's not connecting into your mind. You connect to your own spirit, which is your soul, because every day you use your mind, you use your body. All right. But the higher the higher than your mind, you call it higher self, which is that's why above. All right. So when you first thing when enable, I'm using some terms that may not be familiar for ordinary, because I'm spiritual, right? So the soul, we call it like higher self, that is higher than you, which is connecting to the breathing. You know, it's kind of like your soul or a spirit form is kind of like a plastic balloon. You know, when you blow a plastic balloon and there is an ether, you know, so that plastic balloon or like the ether, we call it like etheric form. So that ether mixed with your breathing. All right. So that ether, which is your soul spirit, your higher self, connects to the breathing. Then it becomes alchemical, an alchemy, because the union of the energies are combined. All right. So when the higher self, because remember, it's not body, mind, and soul. The soul is always the highest. All right. So you don't connect to the mind, you connect to the higher, which is the source. All right. So that's why when you are connecting to the higher, which is the source, the first thing to do is that you connect with your heart and then do some breathing, deep breathe in and deep breathing out. But you are not seeing like a kind of like a smoke when you're breathing, you know. That if you go inside a car, when you breathe, you see some mist. You see some mist, right? And it's forming like what you call this, like a mist on the mirror or on the light or whatever.
Right.
So that happens. There is an alchemical process. Sorry, it's just my dog. So there
She
is an
wants to have her
alchemic.
thoughts.
I know, but I'm having his peanut butter beside me just for him to behave. Yeah. So what happened, as I said, that is a key, because most people are using the mind, you know. But the key to easily connect to a higher is complete silence. All right. You shut off. It's kind of like you turn off your lights, you turn off everything. You turn off shut it off, kind of like you're turning off your phone, pretty much. Right. So when you turn off your phone, you're black, nothing, you know.
Got you. Yeah.
But it's not really black, you know. When you turn it off, it's still running in the background, but there is something higher that guiding you, you know. So that's where when you are in silence, you connect to your own soul, you connect to your own spirit. So that is where you said like you cannot even drop the thought of the whole day. But the only time you can drop the thought, you immerse yourself into complete silence, you know. And first of all, your nervous system is very powerful to dictate the mind to shut off. All right, because remember, the nervous system is triggering the body to function, to move, to stand up, to get up, everything, right? So you can also dictate your nervous system, hey, you know, pause for a while. But because most people are used to the stress, most people are used to overthinking, most people are used to actively using their brain, it's too much. It's kind of like it's too overly charged, you know. So the key somehow at the end of the day, even like it's a 15 minutes, you drop yourself into silence, you know, because when you are studying about think and grow rich, you know, you will not be able to grow rich unless part of your meridians are closed. You know, a lot of people are saying to me, Wilma, I keep trying everything, I'm doing everything, but because you're blocked, yes, because you are overthinking, you don't allow the energies from the universe to flow through you. So that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay, no, thank
Sorry
you.
about Sorry about
No,
it.
thank you. No, thank you for breaking it down into simple terms that people can understand. So,
Yes.
Curtis, I know you've done some meditation. Of
Yes.
course, there are a few I find as skilled as Wilma. So, thank you for breaking that down. But Curtis, what are your thoughts, or do you have any questions?
Does it make sense to you now?
Oh, absolutely.
Somehow? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great. I do it every morning. I do my yoga and then I do meditation every morning for 10 minutes. And I use biofeedback with Muse. So it helps me go a little bit deeper into my meditation. That's why I found, because you just think about something, but I've did a course with Achieve Today, and then through the whatever the coaching program they had the Muse to help you with your meditation. So it really kind of gets you in a different space quicker than you maybe as an average person might be able to. So if you're new, the biofeedback will help you focus more on what you're doing, because you kind of well, the one I like is the one with birds, and it has different background noises like the water or music or the combination of the two. And then you're able to do the bird thing, and then what happens at the end, you get, you try to get 100 birds or whatever. And some days I think I'm doing good, and it's like, oh, hey, I only got 20 birds today. But that's what you don't know. You don't know where you're at. So that's, for me, I find it judges kind of where you're going. And some days, you hit the 100 and it's like, I didn't even feel like I even got 100 today, but that's meditation. You just don't know. But with the biofeedback, I always find it gives you a measurement of how you did for the morning or whatever time you're doing it.
But if you are obviously measuring it, you are also not in the state of calmness, because you aren't expecting something of an outcome because there's trying to be a measurement. All right.
You don't know till the end. Yeah.
Correct. But when you are in meditation, you allow your spirit to guide you, because every one of us has guides. Every one of us are invisible protector. All right. Like in my case, I invoke a lot of angels because they are protectors. All right.
Yes.
So, but when you are distracted by some sound, it's good actually. Sometimes it can hypnotize you to bring you to a level that you are in a forest or you are in somewhere with the waterfalls. But actually, it's not the sound. When you are manifesting something to be in a highly meditative state, you use your vision. When you are in vision, you don't need some sounds. You put yourself exactly where you want it to be. Let's say in a forest, you take your etheric body, like I told you, like in a plastic balloon form, in an ether form, then you will be surprised that you were in a different place, but you are sitting down in your room or in your car, So this is very highly vibrational, because when you are meditating, you are supposed to be increasing your vibration, So when you are tired, the purpose of meditating is to calm you down, to relax. All right. So, and slowly, that's why sometimes there is a process, especially, let's say, what is consuming of more of your thoughts today? For example, you are consuming thoughts about your son. All right. For example, like that, the way to drop it is like you ask permission for them, for their higher self, to leave you. To give you some space for yourself, because you are honoring your space. So that can be done. It's kind of like you're talking to their own spirit to give you some space, because thoughts are energy and you have the power to move it. It's kind of like a telekinesis or telepathy. Everything you have the power to do, to command, So exercise that command of silence, command of space, of nothingness, but because when you are in nothingness, your not your physical body, your etheric body is taken to a place of like solemnity. So
Cool.
Thank you.
I like it. So it's different. It's very different.
We haven't heard from Linda yet. Linda, what are your thoughts on the meditative process, or what has your experience been?
Yes, I'm actually a little bit newer to the meditation process. I've done different ones myself. I really appreciate the guided meditations with the imagery of the different words. And so I will like to do that, like to relax at bedtime. I will close my eyes, lay down, really listen into that guided experience. But then I've also had some exposure to go into more of the silence, to really ground and focus on the breathing, allowing my body to release its tightness. And if you do that for like 3 to 5 minutes, just really focus on not thinking about everything that's going on in the world, and you release the energy through your body, focus on the breathing. It's amazing how when you do that, you can come to this really calm, peaceful place. And one of the practices that I've been in before is I've been a part of groups that have started meetings that way, or started a session that way, where you go, because everyone's going a million miles a minute, and we have all these thoughts and things and responsibilities. And just to sit quietly for a few minutes and do this, it will give you so much peace that you can have clarity in your thoughts and the intentional purpose about whatever it is that you're meeting to do, and you use it in a meeting type setting. And so one of the things too that I've experienced is I really have an appreciation for Tai Chi, where you combine that breathing. And I found a few movements that I really like, that honestly, it feels like I can release the pressure. And there's this one move that I like where you just kind of go with your breath and you push away. And if I do that 2 or 3 times, it's so relaxing to me.
Well, one major focus when you are meditating is, I'm always asked about it. What is the difference between praying and meditating? I always get that questions, right? Because when you are praying, you are the one communicating to the higher source, whoever God you believe in. Your mind, your heart is communicating to the source, right? But when you are meditating, that's why you put in silence, is the other way around. The source is talking to you, is giving you the answer. All right. So that's the difference between prayer and meditation. That's why if you are asking how to go get rich, 2 things: you can pray, and but the meditation is giving you the answer from the divine. All right. So that's the difference. So that's why it is important to empty your thoughts, to declutter everything that is bothering you. This way you can listen to the answer from the divine. So, and that is if you are asking something, or if you wanted to achieve an outcome and you wanted to get some signs. Some people ask for signs, but the signs can be achieved by meditating, and through silence, the divine will connect with you to provide you the answer. So that's the difference. So, and when you are really in zero thought, then you can clearly get the answer, and that is, to me, because that's the nature of my work. People cannot see their own problems, because it's overwhelming. So me as a practitioner, that's where I come. I see, because my aura is always clean, my energy is always relaxed. I'm always like, I don't have negative energies, because it's the nature of my work, right? So I see clearly, and I'm able to guide my clients. So how much more the divine? How much more the divine, the higher source? So it has to be authentic. It's not that you're showing to people you're sitting down and having meditation, or you're bragging about your meditation. No, it's not, because the divine, like you were saying about Tai Chi, when you are moving, you're moving your hand. It's the same principle of when I do Reiki. When I do my symbol like that, there's a meaning to that, which means I'm sending a command to the universe. All right. If I am doing a remote healing, I will use a symbol in my hand, like a similar to a Tai Chi move, but that is sending a message from the cosmic, from outside. But it's expressed in the movement from the air. It's kind of like you push the energy, something like that, and the energy is pushing to that direction of, let's say, of a person you're thinking, like me. if I connect to an energy from the cosmic through meditation, I would push that energy to the someone I'm healing, you know. But that energy is the same principle as the air. You don't see the air. A hurricane, you don't see. It's just all like a wind. But that wind can blow you away. All right. So it's similarly, we are connected right now by Wi-Fi. All right. See how powerful the Wi-Fi is, but it's invisible. You don't see in this your naked eye. But the Wi-Fi is based on frequency. All right. So the meditation is also a frequency, but it's the frequency of your own heart to the divine, to the heart of the source, you know. So that's why it's very, then it's like a radio station. You start from zero. Then as the frequency goes high, the more the music is going high or the sound is going high. But the sound that you are hearing is the sound from the divine and the cosmic. You know, you may hear the birds or whatever, but because you are already enveloped with energies that is not you, which is more higher than you are. So that's the beauty of it. That's why I'm addicted to meditation. So
Awesome. Thank you
yes.
for that. So because I've experienced it two ways as well. First of all, I do like affirmation audios. So you're getting repetitive sequences over and over, which is a guided meditation, but you're getting repetitive sequences over and over again that, you know, I am this, I'm ready for abundance. My doors are open. I'm
Correct.
ready to receive. You know, I'm a powerful leader, things like that, so that you're
Correct.
absorbing this information as you're getting into that theta or
Correct.
that meditative
Yeah.
state.
Yes.
What I've also found, and the best meditations I've had have been where I focus my mind on something, or like I ask a question of the universe. So kind of like prayer, but not. But I'm ready for the answer. So I focus my mind on a question or some information that I want, and then allow the flow to absorb at that point. So I'm ready to receive answers to the question. So that's why when Napoleon Hill says, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become.
Correct.
So thinking of that person, look, that's how I've become this thought leader, is that I've imagined myself in that position. And then
Correct.
as I meditate on that, what answers or what response, what is the universe telling me? And then when you do come out of that meditation, go and apply, go and take action on this message that you've received during your meditation. And that's been
Correct.
my most
Yeah.
powerful meditation.
Well, you're right. It's because there are only three things that you can control. The rest you cannot. Number one is you can control your thoughts. You know, number one, because whatever you think is the outcome. All right,
Yep.
that's number one. So number two is your vision. So if you're not able to visualize, then how can you achieve it? Because you don't even see yourself being there. So that you can control. And the last one is your action. You know, if you think about it, then you have vision about it and you act about it. So there's nothing stopping you to be able to achieve it. All right. So, but there are factors that people are not being able to achieve things, you know, and this is a whole lot of discussions, which also I am revealing during my retreat this coming Saturday. Some secrets of like tapping into those stuck patterns that's not allowing you to manifest, you know. So that's another whole range of topic. But yeah, so it is really very important, like you said, you know, like you have this focus of these three things, because those are the things you cannot react. The rest are just probably illusions and manipulations, you know. So yeah, so make that habit. Yeah, I can control my thoughts. I would think about my I am. Okay. And that is very powerful, because when you say I am in the spiritual sense, I am is the center of your heart, is the center of your goddess energies coming from the divine source. And what comes after I am is your instant manifestation, because that's why you don't fool with I am. Everything that you want, the third word after I am is very, very important, because I am happy, I am in gratitude, I am grateful, I am blessed, I am healed, I am rich, you know. So whatever comes, whatever word comes after I am is your instant manifestation. So when you are doing this affirmation, it's really coming from your heart, because everything is heart-based. Our heart is palpitating. The breathing comes, from the heart. So that's why it's very important. Like you said, when you start to meditate, connect to your I am presence, which is your heart. Very important.
Absolutely. And
curious-
go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead,
so I would be curious to hearing a little bit more about your stuck patterns and how you take people through that. Just a little synopsis of the work that you're doing,
All right.
because getting stuck is something that comes up for a lot of us.
Correct.
And I think that our audience would benefit from hearing
Correct.
a few tips around that.
Well, certainly, because there are things that you can do and that you cannot do yourself, and you ask for help. Like me, I've been called like a spiritual plumber, blockage remover, energy transformer, whatever it is, right? Like I said, for example, you brush your teeth every day, but you still need a dentist to remove cavities from your teeth, even though you brush your teeth every day. Certain things in your house, you need the plumber to remove clogs over because you cannot do it. So same thing as us individual persons, because especially when your energetic field is very low, depleted with overthinking, a lot of stress, a lot of many reasons, because I always follow the law of cause and effect. All right. Whatever you do in your present life, there is an effect to that, whether it's dharma or karma. All right. So sometimes, even if you are doing so much good karma and you say to yourself, how come nothing still happening? I'm doing so much karma, good things, right? Perhaps it is not you. It could be a pattern from your mother, it could be a pattern from your genealogy, mother or father. Maybe they have karma that passed on to you, but it wasn't your fault, right? That's why sometimes to a practitioner in a guided meditation, the higher, I should say, to me, because I connect with higher beings, it doesn't matter who you believe. I can connect to any masters of light, could be Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is, I connect with them. All right. So I use my spiritual consciousness, which is very high, because there's level of consciousness and how open is your universe, because there is, I don't know if you've heard of chakras. Have you heard of that? The word chakras, right? So we have third eye, we have throat chakra, or different kinds of chakras. Sometimes people, it's kind of like there's really a blockage. Your universal flow is not open to the universe. It's programmed ever since you were a child, from 1 year old to your present age. It has been locked, for example, by your parents, or it has been locked by somebody else, and it's not open. Somebody has to unlock it. You need to unlock it for you as a practitioner. All right. So we go into details of many layers, either like what are the patterns from when you were 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, that were embedded in your conscious mind. All right. So those things could be, as I said, deprogram until you deprogram these things, and then you go back to who you are, zero, when you were nothing, So it may sound easy, but obviously it's a lot of ways to reverse it. That's why I always encourage my client to don't wait for something worse to happen in your life, to make some changes, because the karma is coming from an ancestor. Remember, it's like a DNA. If you have a high blood pressure from your father, you might also get a high blood pressure. But it's not the high blood pressure. Perhaps you have high blood pressure because the nature of life of your mother and father is very stressful. That's why you have heart problem. Okay, so that's the root cause of it. All right. So a practitioner like me who's doing holistic, I target the root cause. For example, you are having a problem, let's say, in your liver, all right? And because you have a lot of trapped emotions, because you were abused so much, you had so much betrayal, you have wronged a lot of people. You have, for example, before you're such a bad ass and you're cursing a lot of people, you like this, blah, 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 And those energies come back to you like a virus. Remember things that you don't see are powerful, like COVID. You don't see COVID, but it can attack you. So there are certain aspects that it may not belong to you. You acquired it from somebody else. For example, you may have a toxic partner, so you're leaving it from day to day, and you got stuck because of the energies of the toxic partner, because you live day in, day out with this partner. Or you have a boss who is so miserable, that energy transferred to you, but you don't know, right? Similarly, like you have a cold, you need a doctor to prescribe you something to remove that, right? So to me, as a practitioner, those are my expertise. That is kind of like unique, I should say, because it's very holistic. And since I came from a pharmaceutical and pharmacology background about making drugs, so I know the root cause is beyond. It's more of trapped emotions, over your own physical being. For example, you were angry all the time the last 5 years. That anger is stuck in your body, like a dirt, accumulated dirt, like you didn't clean your shower. It's been accumulated over there, right? So that's why you will need some cleansing. You will need something to help you cleanse that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
And you've
sharing.
done this for me. You've done this for me on at least one occasion. You've deep dived into my blockages. So, and I'm blessed for that, because it's helped me go to a level that I couldn't have done on my own. Like, I've done a lot of work to remove that negative karma, as far as me being an angry person, blaming everything and pushing on other people. That I've done on my own, but there were certain things that I still could not get beyond.
No, because
to a
there are
different
certain
level.
things that are heavy. For example, you angered someone, and this person, even you don't see the person 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but that anger still remains in the person, even you don't see the person. So it's embedded, right? And you might never know he already cursed you. So but if you have a curse, then it's kind of like a permanent scar in your auric field, energetic field. It's kind of, you really need to change the filter, because nothing will happen to you. Even if you say, I'm the beacon of light and all these things that you're doing, but still you will struggle, because you have that energetic dirt, like whatever disease, but it's not a physical disease, it's a soul disease. Because the soul diseases or wounds are when they're open, it can be infected. It's kind of like you have a physical wound. If it's not healed, then it will be penetrated by bacteria. So if you have a soul wound, or let's say you betray somebody, you angered somebody, all right? So the wound is still open, or no matter how many years ago right now, it's not been closed, or the person died and that person died with anger. So that wound is open, all right? So these things will be infected, and you are the target, because you are the one who is right now still alive, something like that. So this is much deeper, because this involves metaphysics and quantum, but a lot of people are resorting to, as I said, medication just to cover it up, like depression pills or anxiety pills or sleeping pills or whatever, because they don't know how to fix the root cause. But your platform, I'm thankful, because I'm trying to let people know there is a way to do that. And there are only about 144,000 healers like me in the whole planet who chose to be in this field, because it's a higher responsibility, right? Because I deal with evil. Like if I have somebody who has exorcised, they call me, and so you really have a very strong energetic connection to the higher realm to remove that curse from you, because you don't want to come back to me. I don't want it to come back to you, right? So, and that entails a very special type of meditation, because you go up to a higher plane, and it's always seen in movies. Actually, it might seem unreal, but that's the way to do it, because the things that you don't see, as I said, the soul wounds are causing you much difficulties in your personal life, because
Absolutely.
this is the law of universal law of cause and effect, law of dharma and karma. So even if you say law of attraction, but if you have the karma, then your law of attraction is weak, all right? Because you have a karma, all right? Or you have somebody still that is open. So these things, as I said, are very something that is spreading now. I'm trying to spread this message, because billions of people during the COVID time, you have seen that they couldn't even go to a doctor. All right. So that's where we came in, is because people are having suicidal tendencies, right? So they don't have time to even line up and wait for 3 months to go to a doctor, you know? So anyway, because these suicidal tendencies, that means it was invaded by evil energies. Because why would you think of suicide or things like that? So anyway, going back to meditation, so we're getting much deeper and deeper because it's my passion. It's my
and we can feel that. But so just as much as there's positive energy, that's what I want people to understand. Just as much as there's positive energy, there is negative energy, and if you allow that to express itself, it can grow stronger and stronger.
Correct.
And that's what you're getting into.
Yeah, because you notice this. You go to an event, you hug a lot of people, all right, or like but even those simple thing, when you are eating in the restaurant, when you pray, or you bless your food, it's not really the food that you're blessing, because somebody who cooked that food might be in anger. That the one who cooked your food might be having a miserable and then cursing saying all those F word in the food while mixing it, right? So imagine that energy transferred to you, and then you come home with an upset stomach. All right. Or there is somebody that you are talking, and then suddenly you were paying in the gas station, and this person who was so miserable and raging with anger, that energy is completely transferable, and look at you eye to eye, and that can be transferred to you. It's like a cold, you can be infected. All right. Because energies, as I said, is invisible. Similarly to the weather every day you are affected by the weather, but you don't see the weather. The same thing as the energies, negative energies particularly, it can invade you, especially when you are in very stressful state, because the evil like that. Evil likes you to be stressed. When you are stressed, then you go overthinking, and that's a perfect attack for evil, for you to get paranoid, to get anxiety, to get all these panic attack, right? So it's a perfect dwelling place for evil energies, up to the point that people cannot no longer handle it, So.
And so, and meditation can help you eliminate that as well. You can, go into a more peaceful state, a more welcoming state. So I know Linda's given us a time limit here today, and we're getting close to the end of our time. But so I want people to have the opportunity to learn about because you're having a
yes, I'm having an event this coming
negative.
Saturday.
Yes. Tell us more about that.
Well, sometimes even how much positive you are, you can be infected. Even if you have a very strong immunity, you can be infected. Right? It's not because of you, it's because the energies invaded your energetic field. All right. For example, as I said, you are invaded by somebody you are successful, and then somebody is jealous of you and look at your profile in Instagram or Facebook, and suddenly, I hate you, RJ. I hate you, RJ. I hate you, RJ. Right? So energetically,
please remove that from me, thank you.
Energetically, those vibration is only creeping on your energetic field.
Yeah.
All right. But you don't see. But it's like energetic field. It's like a wind. It's like a wind. It went to you. All right. So imagine those your lifetime, from the day you were born until now, how many workplaces you have moved, and then you have angered so many people, and until now that energetic cord is with you. All right, it's with you no matter what, right? So these are not the dead end, as I said. Similarly to a plumber, you call a plumber. If there is a blockage on your filter in the house, you go somebody to change the filter in your car, or your car is your filter. You go to a mechanic or something. There's always somebody that can help, and more and more so this coming. Actually, it opened already during pandemic, as I said, like light workers like us, like me, who have abilities, because we are sent here for the reason. I'm not here just because for whatever. I have a purpose. I have a mission to awaken people like you as a beacon of light, but not the false light. All right. Because a false light, meaning you are being programmed for a matrix of manipulation. All right. Yes. For example, you can listen to Bob Proctor. You can listen to Robin Sharma, you can listen to, but that's not the point. The point of awakening is you rise up to your own power. not copying anybody. You rise up to your own warrior goddess power, your own power. All right. Because the fact that you are, for example, copying somebody or imitating somebody, that means you are out of your alignment, because you are not yourself. You are copying somebody, but no fingerprint is the same. Each one of us, our fingerprint is unique to each of one. All right. So that's why the more that you are exposing yourself to things that who you are not, a lot of people would attend many seminars, coaches, high profile people, knowing, I admire, look at them, but you're copying them. You are not being who you are. All right. So that's where meditation comes in. You become who you are, not someone dictated you to be who you are not. All right. And most people are afraid to tap into who they are because they're not realizing their potential. They want to say, like, I want to be Oprah. I want to be Ellen DeGeneres. I want to be Bob Proctor. I want to be, but your blueprint is not the same as them. They are great examples, obviously, but you don't know how they get their wealth. For example, yeah, they are rich, but you don't know how they get their wealth. I have clients who are very rich, but the karma over their family are more miserable. Yeah, they have money, but the karma of how they acquire their wealth is even more scary, and they go into a platform and preaching how to train your mind, but you don't know your mind is being manipulated. All right.
So again, we're running low on time, unfortunately. But so I wanted people to know, because you're giving people the opportunity this Saturday,
Yes.
if they've been in a negative place or they're having these energies that they're not aware of, you're having what you call a reset in the new world.
Correct.
Talk more about that for a minute and how people can come and join you.
So this is a small group retreat with Cora Cristobal, founder of Toronto Women's Club, and she built up a new platform like Cora Cristobal Institute, wherein I'm part of the advisory board. So we are shifting people to a different level of consciousness, to prepare them to collapse the matrix of how they are being programmed in our current, and I'll be teaching this through a guided meditation, obviously. And it's a small group, about 12 at least people, because it's very intimate, it's very intimate group. And this is just the start. And later on, we want to expand it to more bigger audience, because you want to help people transform. And one should transform one person, the bloodline will benefit. For example, if I transform you, heal all your soul wounds, your karma will not pass on to your wife, will not pass on to your children, will not pass on to your next generation. So to me, it's not about having a crowd of 1,000 people. One person I'll transform, the next generation will benefit from it. All right. Imagine your bloodline, your next generation, your grandchildren, and all these things. They will not carry the negative energies of that you inherited. You are closing the wound. So this event will be this Saturday at Toronto Hilton Airport. And so I will be doing and activating energies to tap into that potential of abundance. It's exciting.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's a small, intimate group. It is a live event. It is a paid event, not a free event. But so that's because you're offering it to a very intimate, small group of people. So
yes.
I hope people can get access to that. They can go to Eventbrite, I believe, or the Facebook group. If they go to Toronto Women's Club Facebook group, they can find the event there and they can get their tickets for that event.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. And a beacon of light, I always send love and light, but make sure that light is authentic and genuine, as I said, because the law of karma knows the vibrations of our mind. And, it should be in harmony with what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're doing. A lot of people doesn't know that. And then they say to me, but how come nothing is happening in my life or misfortunes? Because there is no harmony. And that is the universal law. It's not even my law. It's the universal law of cause and effect. All right. So that's where meditation comes in, wherein you harmonize everything. Because yoga means union. You union your mind, your body, and your spirit.
Awesome.
So with that, I'm so grateful and thank you.
So do either of you have a comment as we end this podcast, do you have anything to add for Wilma?
Say thank you very much, Wilma. Awesome to see you again, and thank you for your insight about meditation. It really
Thank you as well.
cleared out some stuff that maybe I didn't quite know
Yeah.
about before. Thank you.
Good. And I'm hoping that I also, guys, awaken you, because
Yep.
we need more lights, right? And it
Absolutely.
has to start from somewhere. One candle can light an empty or dark room, and four of us can make an impact over the planet, especially it's rapidly changing. So if you really wanted to top freedom, abundance, or not working for anybody, there is a way to that, and I'm here as well as you guys are
Absolutely.
serving the
Thank you,
planet.
thank
Thank
Linda,
you.
do you have a comment? You're
Muted.
muted. You're
Muted.
muted.
Sorry about that. I wanted to thank you today for coming. I enjoyed hearing more about meditation, bringing in the thoughts, vision, and action, and really some of the other concepts you brought in. I really appreciated listening, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us again. We are Beacon of Leadership, inviting you again to our podcast, Leaders Lighthouse, where we are shining the light on leadership. So thank you everybody for joining me, RJ Horner, along with
Curtis Leong.
and
Linda Tilson.
And
our
Wilma and
special
my
guest.
Jasper
Yep.
here.
yes, Jasper
you,
had his
everybody.
input today too. So thank you all
Awesome.
for that.
Thank
Thank
you,
It
you
was
so
a great
much.
show, and I hope people get the value out of it. So thank you
Okay.
and have a good night.
Have a good
Good
night.
night.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.